7:50. Welcome back, everybody. Well, it's one of the swankiest restaurants around town. Bouchon, I'm sure you've heard of it. The restaurant sources its ingredients locally. Produce comes from our surrounding countryside and fish from the Santa Barbara Channel. Chef Greg Murphy joins us this morning. He's going to show us how to prepare that Thanksgiving turkey. And Tony is out on the patio with the chef. Good morning, guys.
All right, thanks, Sherman. Yeah, I'm out here with Chef Greg Murphy, and Thanksgiving is just around the corner. Everybody's kind of thinking about what they're going to do, making plans. But the most important thing about Thanksgiving is the turkey, right?
The bird, yes, definitely.
The bird.
Definitely.
But you're going to show us a whole different way to start preparing a Thanksgiving turkey, right?
Yeah, definitely. Thanksgiving in general, because there are so many components. You have your white meat, your dark meat, your mashed potatoes, you have your stuffing, your cranberries, a billion different components. My suggestion is to try and get as much done the day ahead or earlier in the morning as possible. So basically I'll be fabricating this turkey, breaking it into pieces, and I'm suggesting that you do the same because you can cook it a little bit faster. You have a little bit more control when it comes to like the breast versus the thigh. You can pretty much cook it evenly instead of just going for one shot with it being in the oven for hours.
Being in the oven for hours, that's the main point. We cook these turkeys and there's no time to really spend with family. You're busy in the kitchen, and
that's the point of Thanksgiving, right?
Yeah.
So more time with friends and family. This should hopefully make it so you're not a slave to the kitchen and you can actually get out and entertain.
Okay, let's get started. Let's do it. We've got a raw turkey here. What size is this? Do you know?
This is about like a 12, 15 pounder, something like that.
Okay.
It's relatively small. You'd probably be doing something a little bit bigger at your house, especially if it's for a lot of people. But I mean, the bigger the better. You have a little bit more room for air if your knife slips or something like that. So.
Okay.
So yeah, this is just like a chicken. I'm just gonna kind of go for the center point here and take one of the breasts off.
And this is something people are normally doing once it's all done and cooked, right?
Exactly. So yeah, I mean, you're saving yourself the time of actually cooking it and bringing it out to the table to present it, and then taking it back into the kitchen to slice it up and everything. So it's a little bit easier way to do it. You can set it on a plate and it still looks really nice. It's just not this massive bird. So basically, I'm just kind of peeling the breast off of the side of the turkey here.
And sometimes it's easier to cut it raw versus cooked, would you say?
A little bit. It slips around a little bit more, so you want to be a little bit more careful. Yeah. I'd say definitely have a sharp knife. That makes it a lot easier. And this is the breast, and then I'll be taking off the thigh and leg.
Oh, you just rip it open like that?
Yeah, you just kind of pop it off a little bit, and you kind of have to get in there with the knife a little bit and kind of separate it off a little bit. That should do it. And then you have your thigh and your leg portion here. If you're doing this a day ahead, I suggest you actually take the leg, roast it off, and you can actually add it to your stuffing or dressing that way. So those are pretty much the two pieces. I'm going to put them in the bowl over here.
All right.
And I'm going to try and get to the other side so I can show you the whole carcass, which you could probably roast off the day before and make a turkey stock for your gravy and for everything else.
The one thing about this is the stuffing. Normally people put the stuffing in the turkey. What do you do?
I'd suggest you wouldn't do that anyway. I don't know, it kind of comes out messy and everything. Maybe stuff the inside with like herbs or something if you're going to do a whole bird. A little bit more aromatics. I don't know, a little bit nicer. Plus the stuffing that's on the inside never really turns out all that great.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Maybe just for show.
Exactly. So I'll take this other piece off here. And
I'm always so gentle when I'm dealing with chicken or turkey. I mean, you're just like cutting it. I guess that's the way to do it, right?
You kind of got to manhandle it. Yeah, it's a big bird. It's a big bird. So yeah, you have all your pieces here, and then you have your carcass, which you can easily roast off and turn into stock. So yeah, other stuff that you could probably get ahead on are you could peel your mashed potatoes the day before, so you're not rushing to do that. Maybe make like a yam puree and add that to your mashed potatoes instead of making a separate dish. Blanch off your green beans the day before and reheat them day of. Make your gravy the day before. All of it, makes it a little bit easier on you, a little bit more time spent with friends and family, and that's kind of the point.
Yeah. Are you open on Thanksgiving Day?
We are packed, yes.
Really?
Yes. We are completely sold out, yes.
How many turkeys do you go through?
Well, at that point, we get them in pieces. It's probably upwards of like 200 pounds.
Really?
Something like that, yeah.
Okay, so you're not having to cut it like this every single turkey.
Exactly. We're getting huge breasts, we're getting huge thighs, we're getting huge drumsticks, and then we we pretty much roast the breast and the thigh. The drumsticks we confit, and we actually add them to our stuffing.
Okay.
Yes.
So I mean, as we see here, the finished product. I mean, that's one thing that's key is the presentation, right? After it's all cooked and everything, making it look as good as that.
Definitely. I mean, it's not a gigantic bird, but it's it's got all the components. It looks really nice. So, I don't know. I think it might make your life a little bit easier to do it this way.
You might not have a huge turkey there, but you saved a lot of time and you spent time with family and friends.
And that's the point. That's the point of Thanksgiving. So.
All right. I'm going to bring Sharon back in here with me as we close off today. But what an easy way to get through.
Very well.
There we go. Do you like this idea?
I think it's really neat. It's a different way of doing it, so why not? I think it's great. My mom's going to expect me to know all these tips when I go home on Thanksgiving, so I took some notes. And you guys have just, such a wonderful restaurant, but how about for seasoning and stuff?
Seasoning, turkey likes sage, it likes rosemary, it likes thyme. Beyond that, you could probably go with different spices of your own liking, really, but I prefer the fresh herbs, so I would go definitely with sage, probably sage and thyme.
And is there an amount of time you should be putting in the oven?
It's going to vary. I mean, or I'm working with commercial ovens, so it's a little bit different. Those are put out a lot more heat, but it's going to depend on the size of the breast, the size of the turkey. It's all time and temperature, so.
All right, Chef Greg Murphy from Bouchon's in Santa Barbara, thank you so much for showing us this great new way to cook a turkey on Thanksgiving.
Make it a little bit easier, yes.
There we go. Well, thank you so much for joining us here on Fox 11 News. We'll see you next week, next Monday.
Yeah, have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you then.